All right, let's dive into some Indian wealth management today. Anand Rathi Wealth Ltd, how are they doing? We've got the usual reports, press releases, investor presentations, financial results, even some stuff from their earnings call. So what's the mission today?
Well, to really get a handle on what's driving their success and what does that mean for the Indian wealth management scene in general.
Absolutely, and the big news, they just announced their Q3 FY25 results, and they are stellar, I've got to say. We're looking at a 34% year-over-year increase in consolidated net profit. 227 crores for those 9 months leading up to December 2024.
Yeah, and revenue right behind it, surging
Yeah.
by 33% to hit 739 crores. And you know, what I find really interesting is they've been able to keep this consistent growth going, even when the nifty India stock market index
Yeah.
was dipping,
Yeah.
So suggesting they're not just riding the market trends, they're outperforming them.
Yeah. All right, so to celebrate all this, they've declared a 1.1 bonus share for shareholders, still subject to shareholder approval, but essentially, existing shareholders get an extra share for everyone they own. Pretty sweet deal, I mean. But wouldn't this dilute the value of those existing shares?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's true. The earnings per share might go down for a bit, but the overall value of your holdings is going to stay the same. Think of it like cutting a pie into more pieces. Each slice is smaller, but you've still got the whole pie. And bonus shares often make the stock more attractive to a wider range of investors. So that could boost trading volume and liquidity.
Okay, that makes sense. But what I'm really zeroing in on here is their mutual fund distribution revenue. It has skyrocketed. 63% year-on-year jump to 303 crores. They're clearly tapping into something here, right? A growing appetite for these mutual funds in India.
And what's really setting them apart is that laser focus on equity mutual funds, specifically those with long-only positions. Put simply, they're betting the market will go up in the long run, and this focus, this specialization, gives them a lot of leverage when they negotiate with asset management companies or AMCs.
Long game, huh? Smart, especially when you see their total net inflows. Jumped by 69% year-on-year, 9,145 crores for the first 9 months of this fiscal year.
And within that, their equity mutual fund inflows saw a big jump, 51%, hitting 5,831 crores. What's interesting is this is all happening with, some uncertainty in the market. So investors are still keen on these equities, and ARWL is capitalizing on that.
All right, so how does this all fit into their overall portfolio strategy?
Well, if we look at their assets under management, the AUM, the share of equity in mutual funds is up to 55%. In December 2024, up from 52% the year before. So this is a shift towards equities for sure, reflecting that broader trend we're seeing.
Got it. So who are they targeting with this? Is it the average investor, or is there a specific segment they're going after?
Oh, they're laser focused. High net worth individuals, HNIs. These are individuals with, somewhere between 5 and 50 crores that they can investable surplus. And this choice, it makes their business model, more sustainable, more scalable in the long run.
Focusing on just each and I's, though, that seems, I don't know, kind of risky. What if that segment shrinks? Are they putting all their eggs in one basket?
It's a good point. But this focus lets them build deeper relationships, provide these more tailored services. Plus, they have an incredibly low client attrition rate. Only 0.28% of their AUM was lost because of clients leaving. During those 9 months, and here's the kicker, almost zero, what they call regret attrition, among their relationship managers.
Regret attrition? What is that?
Basically, it means the relationship managers, the RMs, think of them as the financial coaches who handle these big, valuable client portfolios. They're not leaving. Those are the people you really don't want to lose.
I can see why, yeah, holding on to those key players, that's crucial. But what's the secret sauce? How are they keeping both the clients and the RMs so happy?
Well, they have a few things going for them. First, their remuneration model for the RMs is very stable, which keeps them, happy and loyal. Second, they actually prioritize RM satisfaction. They know that happy employees means happy clients. And maybe most importantly, their whole approach is very client-centric. They really prioritize their clients' financial well-being.
So it's like having a personal trainer, but for your finances. Someone who helps you set those goals, strategize, and, stay on track.
Exactly. ARWL, they're very process-driven, data-backed when it comes to wealth management. They want to make wealth building, smooth, seamless. That's one of their big slogans.
Seamless and uncomplicated. You mentioned that earlier. Can we unpack that a bit? What makes these solutions uncomplicated in a world where finance, let's be honest, Often feels like rocket science.
Yeah, you'll see they focus on a curated selection of investment products. They avoid those overly complex derivatives, or high-risk strategies. It's all about clarity and alignment with your goals, not, dazzling you with some complex instrument.
Okay, that's refreshing to hear. They're not just chasing returns, they're building those long-term partnerships with clients. And they're not limiting themselves to just one location either. 17 cities across India, even a representative office in Dubai now.
Yeah, they see huge growth potential in Indian wealth management. I mean, rising income levels, more financial literacy, and a shift towards professionally managed financial assets, ARWLs, positioning themselves to be a major player in this.
So playing the long game, betting on India's economic rise, I like it. But are they sticking with those traditional methods or are they embracing new ideas too?
They're definitely not standing still. They're leveraging technology, with a digital wealth platform aimed at a wider audience, especially that mass affluent segment, those who might not be HNIs just yet. But they still need some guidance.
Yeah, smart. Reaching that younger, tech-savvy group, that's key for growth. Anything else on the innovation front?
They also launched Omni Financial Advisors, OFA. This is specifically for mutual fund distributors, MFDs and independent financial advisors, the IFAs.
So like creating this network, connecting all these different people in the wealth management world, how does it actually work? What are the MFDs and IFAs? What do they get out of it?
Well, OFA gives them access to ARWL's research, their investment products, and a really strong platform to manage their own client portfolios. So win-win, ARWL, they expand their reach through these partnerships, and the MFDs and IFAs, they benefit from ARWL's expertise and
This
resources.
is incredibly strategic. Like they're playing chess while others are playing checkers.
Yeah.
But let's face it, India's wealth management space, it's getting crowded. How are they setting themselves apart in all this competition?
Well, that's where this focus on uncomplicated wealth solutions really shines. You've got a market that's full of these complex financial products, all this jargon. They cut through the noise by offering these, simple, transparent, data-driven solutions that actually work for their clients.
So in a way, they're demystifying this world of finance.
Exactly. But it's not just simplicity. It's their commitment to client satisfaction and building those long-term relationships. They understand that, trust is everything in this industry, and they've built a reputation for integrity and transparency.
So they're saying, we're not just here to sell you a product, we're here to partner with you.
Exactly. And then you add in their track record of delivering strong returns, even when the market is down, it just reinforces that trust.
Sounds like a winning combo: simplicity, transparency, trust, and performance. But surely there's got to be some challenges, right? What hurdles might they face going forward?
Well, one is just the constantly changing rules, the regulatory landscape. India's financial services, it's always being reshaped by new regulations and policies. ARWL will need to stay, flexible and adapt to stay competitive and compliant.
True. Yeah, staying ahead of those regulations, that's critical. Any other potential challenges you see out there?
Another big one is just the competition. I mean, they're facing pressure from both the traditional players, like banks, insurance companies, asset management companies. And then you've got these new fintech startups disrupting things with, new technologies and business models.
So they're facing it from all sides.
Yeah.
How are they planning to stay ahead of everyone?
Well, they're investing a lot in technology and innovation, constantly looking for ways to improve their digital stuff and streamline their operations. And they're expanding their reach through those strategic partnerships, like their OFA platform to tap into new markets.
Smart approach, embracing technology, building those partnerships, and sticking to that core strength, those uncomplicated wealth solutions. Where do you see them going in the next few years?
I see them continuing this growth, expanding their market share and becoming a real leader in the Indian wealth management space. They have a strong foundation, a clear vision, and a talented team. I'm excited to see what they do.
Me too. Definitely a company to watch. But before we move on, let's go back to their commitment to uncomplicated wealth solutions. In a world where finance seems to be getting more complex every day, it's a refreshing approach. What can other wealth management firms learn from what they're doing?
I think they can learn that simplicity and transparency, that's powerful. Clients are tired of all the jargon and complicated products that they don't understand. They want those clear, straightforward solutions that actually match their goals and values.
It's all about putting the client first, cutting through all that noise.
Mhm.
and building that trust through real partnerships. That's a valuable lesson for any business, not just finance.
Absolutely. ARWL's success is proof that a customer-centric approach, combined with, a deep understanding of the market and a commitment to constant innovation, that works.
This has been great, so insightful. I mean, we've really gotten a good look at ARWL's performance, their strategy, but let's go even deeper. Let's peek behind the curtain and get some insights from their recent earnings call. We can get a glimpse into their thinking and their plans for the future.
Yeah, you know what always strikes me about their earnings calls? It's just how candid and transparent they are. They don't shy away from, talking about challenges, industry trends, and their own philosophy. It's a breath of fresh air compared to that, vague corporate speak you
Yeah.
get from some companies.
I agree. They didn't just throw numbers at us. They actually gave us some context,
Hmm.
explained their thinking, and gave us a peek into their decision making. Like when they said that they see revenue as a result of good wealth management, not the driving force behind their choices.
That's huge. It really highlights that client-centric approach. They're not chasing those quick profits. They want to build long-term value for their clients through, smart investments that fit their goals and risk tolerance.
It reminds me of how they talked about, not being eager to attract clients who've just come into wealth. They'd rather work with people who've built and managed their wealth over time, people who understand, long-term planning.
Exactly. It's about finding those clients who share their values and an investment philosophy. They're not interested in those, fleeting trends or quick wins. It's about building a sustainable business based on trust.
Refreshing to see. And speaking of vision, before we jump into that earnings call, let's circle back to their digital stuff,
Yeah.
specifically that platform for the mass affluent segment. Seems like a great way to reach that younger, tech-savvy group. But what does it actually offer? How does it fit into their overall strategy?
So their digital platform is all about providing a simplified and user-friendly wealth management experience. Imagine having access to goal-based financial planning, portfolio tracking, investment recommendations, all right there in an easy-to-use app.
So like a personal finance advisor, but in your pocket.
Yeah.
But how is it different from that personalized service they give their H&I clients?
Yeah, you're right. It's like having that advisor, but digitally. The difference is the level of customization and human interaction. The digital platform is really designed for people who are comfortable, managing their investments themselves. But they still want a little guidance. The H&I clients, on the other hand, they get that highly tailored advice from a dedicated relationship manager, and they have more investment options.
Two-pronged approach. Makes sense, catering to different groups with different needs.
Yeah.
How are they making sure that their digital stuff is high quality and reliable, though?
Well, that's where their expertise and their data-driven methodology comes in. They've taken their, years of experience and built these robust algorithms and strategies that power the digital platform. And they're constantly monitoring and refining them to make sure they're aligned with market trends and client goals.
So not just a flashy app, there's real substance behind it. And don't forget their OFA platform for the MFDs and IFAs. Can you remind me how that works again?
Right. So OFA is all about giving those financial intermediaries the tools they need, technology, insights. Imagine giving them access to ARWL's research, their products, and a solid platform to manage their clients' portfolios. It's a win-win. ARWL expands their reach, and the MFDs and IFAs, they can provide better service to their clients.
Brilliant. Shows their commitment to innovation. But, back to that elephant in the room, the competition. India's wealth management space is getting packed. How are they differentiating themselves?
I think it's that focus on uncomplicated wealth solutions in a market that's, saturated with complex products and jargon. They offer simple, transparent solutions that are data-driven and tailored to what the client needs.
So, speaking a language everyone understands, demystifying finance. Besides simplicity, what else gives them an edge?
Their commitment to client satisfaction and building those long-term relationships, that's key. They get that trust is essential in this industry, and they've built a strong reputation.
It's like they're saying, we're in this together. We're your partner.
Exactly. And their track record of strong returns, even when the market is down, that just adds to the trust.
Simplicity, transparency, trust, performance, compelling combination. But every business has challenges. What are some they might run into?
One is just the regulations
Yeah.
always changing. India's financial services are constantly being reshaped, new rules, new policies. ARWL has to, stay agile.
Yeah, staying ahead of the regulators, that's key. Any other potential challenges?
Well, the competition's getting fierce. They've got pressure from the traditional players like banks, and then you've got these fintech startups with their new technology.
So, pressure from all sides. How are they planning to stay ahead of the pack?
Well, they're putting a lot of resources into technology. Innovation, they're always looking for ways to make things better, and they're expanding their reach through partnerships like the OFA platform.
Smart, embrace technology, build those partnerships, and stick to their core strength, those uncomplicated solutions. Now let's go to their earnings call and see what we can glean from their leadership.
Yeah.
One thing that stood out to me was their view on competition. They didn't seem that worried about other firms. They were more focused on getting those superior risk-adjusted returns for their clients. They even said they were learning from competitors who are doing things better than them.
That's impressive. Shows confidence and a commitment to getting better. They're not afraid to admit when someone else is doing something well and then learn from it.
It shows how much emphasis they put on data and analysis. They're tracking everything, measuring performance, refining their approach based on evidence.
Yeah, and speaking of data, they gave some interesting insights into their clients and how the Indian wealth management market is changing. They acknowledged that there's, more interest in equities, but they stressed diversification and risk management.
Right. They wanted to educate their clients
Yeah.
about the potential downsides of just chasing those high returns without considering the risks.
It's about finding that balance between growth and stability,
Hmm.
especially in today's market.
And we can't forget their focus on their employees,
Mm.
especially the relationship managers. They said their low attrition rates are because of, a stable pay model, a good work environment, and a shared commitment to making those clients happy.
Yeah, they clearly value their employees. They get that happy employees lead to happy clients.
Simple but powerful.
It's about creating that culture of excellence
Yeah.
where everyone's working towards that same goal, exceptional service and value for the clients.
So after all this deep dive into Anand Rathi, what are the key takeaways?
I think the big one is that, success in wealth management, it's not just about returns. It's about building trust, those long-term relationships, embracing innovation,
Yeah.
and sticking to your values. ARWL's got this down, and their performance shows it.
They've shown that you can be profitable and ethical.
Powerful message.
It's an inspiring story. They're not just managing wealth. They're shaping how it's done in India, and their journey's not over. I can't wait to see what they do next.
Me too. No doubt they'll keep impressing us. They truly understand uncomplicated wealth solutions, and they're making financial well-being accessible to everyone.
Well, I think that about wraps up our deep dive for today. We've gone over a lot: ARWL's financials, their strategy, their plans for the future, their commitment to their clients.
Yeah, it's been great, and I hope our listeners have a better understanding of this innovative company.
Yeah. I have a feeling we'll be talking about ARWL again.
Yeah.
But for now, we encourage you to keep learning about them and about the trends that are shaping wealth management.
Until next time, keep diving deep, and remember, knowledge is power. And their perspective on competition, I mean, they're not so worried about other firms. They're more focused on delivering those superior returns for their clients. Risk-adjusted returns. They even said they're learning from competitors who are doing things better than them.
Yeah, that says a lot about their confidence, right? And their commitment to constantly improving. I mean, they're not afraid to acknowledge where others are doing well, and learn from it.
It's that humility, that willingness to learn. That's what sets them apart.
It also shows how much they rely on data and analysis.
Yeah.
They're tracking all those metrics,
Yeah.
measuring their performance, and then they adjust their strategies based on that. Hard evidence.
Yeah, and speaking of data, they shared some really interesting stuff about their client base and how the Indian wealth management market is changing. They see that growing interest in equity as an asset class, but they also emphasized, diversification and risk management.
Yeah, they highlighted the need to educate clients about the potential downsides of just chasing those high returns without thinking about the risks involved.
Right. It's about that balance, growth, and stability, especially important in today's market.
Absolutely. And let's not forget their focus on their own people, their employees, especially those relationship managers. They said their low attrition rates are due to, that stable pay model, that supportive work environment, and that shared commitment to client satisfaction.
Yeah, they get it, happy employees, happy clients.
Simple, but true.
It's all about that culture of excellence, right? Where everyone is working towards that same goal, delivering that exceptional service and value.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Anand Rathi, what are the big takeaways? What have we learned?
I think we've learned that success in wealth management, it's not just about getting those high returns, you know? It's
Yeah.
about building trust. It's about those long-term relationships. It's about being innovative and staying true to your values. RWL has figured this out, and their performance is proof.
They've shown that you can be profitable and ethical and do things the right way.
Yeah, it's an inspiring story.
They're not just managing wealth, they're changing the game in India.
Mm.
And their journey is far from over. I'm excited to see what they do next.
Me too. They really get it, you know, uncomplicated wealth solutions, and they're making financial well-being accessible to everyone.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive.
Mhm.
We covered a lot today. ARWL's financials, their strategy,
Mhm.
their vision for the future, their dedication to their clients.
It's been great. I hope our listeners have learned a lot about this company.
I think we'll be talking about them again. But for now, we encourage you to keep learning
Yeah.
about them and about the trends in wealth management.
Until next time, keep diving deep. And remember, knowledge is power.
So it's really interesting. They've got this blend of traditional financial wisdom with a modern data-driven approach, and they're
Right.
clearly not afraid to, adapt and change. But, to really wrap things up, we need to talk about their outlook on the future. What do they say about their plans and expectations?
Well, they're very optimistic about the long-term potential,
Yeah.
of the Indian wealth management market. And I got to say, I agree with them. They pointed to several things, the growth of India's mutual fund industry, the increasing number of HNIs, and the opportunities in the Indian equity market. For
But you got-
investors looking for growth.
They're really bullish on India. It's contagious. But what specific steps are they taking to take advantage of all this?
Well, they highlighted a few key areas. First, expanding their reach geographically, bringing their solutions to more cities across India.
Mm.
Second, continuing to invest in technology, making their digital platform even better to reach a wider audience, especially, the younger generation. And third, exploring those strategic partnerships and acquisitions to broaden their reach.
Comprehensive, ambitious, sounds like they've got it covered. But with all this growth, all this expansion, are they worried about, maintaining those high standards of client service and that personal touch?
It's a good question, and it's something they're definitely aware of. They've said over and over that they're committed to that client-centric approach. Even as they grow, they've invested in training for their relationship managers, making sure they have the skills and the resources to keep delivering that personalized service.
That's good to hear. They understand that growth without trust.
Yeah.
It's not going to last.
Exactly. They're not just chasing numbers. They're building a legacy.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into Anand Rathi, what are the big takeaways here? What should our listeners remember?
I think the main takeaway is that ARWL's success shows that you can do well in this industry by sticking to your values,
Mhm.
transparency, putting the client first, and focusing on long-term value. You don't have to, sacrifice your integrity to be profitable.
Powerful message. It's an inspiring story. I mean, they're not just managing wealth; they're changing the industry, and they're not done yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do next.
Me too. They're a company that really gets it, uncomplicated wealth solutions, and they're making a difference.
Well, I think that brings us to the end of our deep dive. We've talked about a lot: ARWL's financials, their strategy, their outlook on the future, their dedication to their clients.
Yeah, it's been a great discussion.
We encourage you to keep learning about Anand Rathi and about the trends that are shaping wealth management.
And until next time, keep diving deep. Knowledge is power.